All right, thank you so much for holding. We are going to go ahead and get started. So thank you so much for joining us. You are attending the Ready or Not, your favorite time of the year is here, and that's tax time. Today is December 5th, 2017, and I hope that you can hear me clearly and see my screen clearly. If you're having any issues, you can send us a message in the questions box. Christina is monitoring the chat, so she'll be able to get those to us and make sure you're not having any issues throughout the webinar. Also, if you have any questions throughout, also send it this way and we'll save those for our Q&A session. So let's get started. My name is Raven. I am the product manager for UnitWise, and Christina is also here with me, and she's monitoring the chat right now. Just to give you some background, UnitWise launched in 2009 with the help of some amazing directors who needed a business management tool to help them succeed. So to this day, we use customer feedback to help grow UnitWise to what it is today. Now with that growth, we have been able to help thousands of consultants and directors around the world. So when you are out in the busy world, make sure you are using your UnitWise account mobilely with your Android and Apple devices. Okay, so ladies, I would love to know, when exactly did you start preparing for your taxes last year? What month or season did you really start getting your mind ready, or did you start pulling information to go ahead and get started? Go ahead and send those answers in to us. Don't be shy. I'm sure someone will be able to relate to whenever you started. So I'm just going to give you some time to go ahead and send some answers in to us. Okay, I see July, August, November, okay. February, awesome. December, any more? You haven't started yet. Okay, that's not a problem at all. And there's definitely not any wrong answers here as you decide exactly how you want to run your business. What we want to take the time to do is show you how much UnitWise can help you get tax time ready, and even if you did just start today. So when you are preparing for your taxes with UnitWise, we do recommend that you start preparing on January 1st of each year. I know that sounds completely unrealistic, but with UnitWise, it is possible. So as you enter your data in your UnitWise account, as you know, it does track that information, so reports can easily be generated. And this is beyond helpful to you and your CPA. So let's go ahead and take a look at our year-end reports. And again, these are going to make tax filing completely easy for you since you've been working in your account all year. The first report that we have in our year-end tax report section is our inventory by category report. And this is a list of inventory on hand by category. It includes the ideal count, quantity on hand, and the cost of goods that you have on hand. So that is the report you would need if you're looking for that information. And the next report we have is our non-recovered sales tax summary. And that does list the sale, discount, and non-recovered tax amounts for each invoice and sales receipt. And you can adjust that by a given time frame as well. So if you're needing that information, that is the report you would use. Next, we have our product purchases report, and that is the total amount purchased from Mary Kay. That is broken down by Section 1, Section 2, and tax amount. So if you are needing to see that information, that is the report for you. Now, the reports that I'm going to list to the right of the screen are the reports that we will be covering today. These reports, and we just want to make sure we take the time to go over that right now. The first report that we are going to cover is our snapshot of quantity on hand. And that is going to give you a detailed list of products on hand during a particular time frame. So that will be the first report we'll go over, and then we will follow that up with our summary of expenses report. And that is the total amount for every expense account that you have in UnitWise. So after we cover your expenses, we're then going to look at your sales. And that will be our total sales or our income report. Now this report was previously known as our sales breakdown report. We have updated this section recently. So if you are a frequent user of our reports, make sure you check out this section to see the updates. But total sales report does show you the total sales broken down by customer. And this includes sales, discounts, shipping, handling, tax, your net total, and your grand total. So that is some very important information there that you would need. And we are going to finish it up by looking at your trip log report, and that is going to show you a list of trip log details for a selected date range. So let's go ahead and move into our UnitWise test account. And here I'm on my dashboard. I'm under Home, but I'm just going to select Reports to get to all of our UnitWise reports. As you see, Customers is already selected. You will need to click on the word Customers in order to show the rest of the report sections. And as I mentioned today, we are only covering the year-end tax reports. I briefly mentioned the first 3 reports, but the last 4 are going to be the ones that we will cover today. You can see here it's a lot of definitions just to help you if you don't want to actually go in and run reports and see if that's the information you need. These definitions are helpful as well. You will also see that here is some helpful information on the standard mileage rates and how much you could have saved if you did file the previous year and how much you can save if you file this year. So this is some information that I would take a look at, see if you fall in any criteria, and make sure that you are maximizing your refund. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first report, which is the snapshot of quantity on hand. And as you see with this report, you can filter this by part number or product name, and you can filter by looking at both section 1 and 2 or by individual sections. And this is a snapshot, so we are looking at the inventory as of this date. Now you can go back and look at previous dates if you have any issues of the numbers that you're seeing. This will be helpful as well. Now again, this report will show you all products and their categories, and it will show you how much you currently have on hand. And I'm going to go ahead and run the report just to show you this next part. And again, this is a test account, so it's a lot of test information. But as you see, also your gift cards, your gift baskets, products that you've created and added to your inventory will also show in this report. But you do see that it sorts it by the part number, and then it shows you the name. It will give you the retail price, how much you have on hand currently, and the total amount if you sold what you do currently have on hand. This report does give you totals by individual products, and it also gives you total by the category as well. So this is a wonderful report to use. As I mentioned, we do recommend you start on January 1st, so that means go ahead and print this report out and do a physical count of your inventory to make sure you have everything and it's matching up with your records. Now, if you do need to print this report, you can export it to an Excel file, a PDF, or a Word document, and you will be able to use that and just walk around and count so you don't have to have your computer or your phone next to you. So that is how you would print the reports out. So next I'm going to go over our summary of expenses report. And again, this will show you the total expenses for each account. And as you can see, you can only adjust this by the date. Now, also, this is already set to year to date. And if you look, the start date does say July 1st. So as you can see, the year to date is actually your MK calendar year. So it will go to July to June, but we are needing to see your tax, for tax purposes, we're needing to see the regular calendar year. So make sure you're always adjust your filter to the calendar year to make sure you're looking at January to December. So now that I have adjusted that, I'm going to run this report. And this is another report that might look a little different from you if you have used it before. Previously, we just showed the total and the account names, but we believe it'll be more helpful for you to see over the months how much expenses you occurred. So you will see the individual expenses per month, and it will give you a total for all expenses for each month, and also give you a total for the whole entire year. So this is a wonderful report to go ahead and gather all of your expenses throughout the year so that you can make sure that your CPA, or if you're doing your taxes, has that information correctly. Now the next report we're going to look at is our total sales, or our income report. And again, this report was the sales breakdown report before. And this does give you the total sales broken down by customers. And the most important thing that this report will give you is your net total, which is the amount that you would need to report as income for tax purposes. So you can adjust this, again, calendar year. You can look at it by customer name or document. And let me run the report to show you. You can search for items to generate a report for. So if you search for, if I'm searching for Anna Allison that I have there, I will just put her name and search for, and once I run the report, it will only show her information. Now, if you're just looking for information within the generated report, you can search here, and it will highlight it within the report. Now, as you see, this report does give you a lot of helpful information. If you're needing to see how much total retail sales you had less the tax amount, but you'll still be able to see your tax amount here. Also, you'll be able to see how much discounts you had. And then again, as I mentioned, your overall net total, which is your sales plus your discounts plus your shipping and handling amount. It'll show you that total, and it will show you also your shipping and handling separate. So this is very helpful for you to look at, especially if you're needing to see how much the retail sales was without tax, without any discounts. This is the column that you will look at. And let's look at this customer, for instance. So Stephanie here, her retail total was $142, but she had $70 worth of discounts and also was taxed $10.30. So this is the grand total that she actually paid. But if you're needing to see the total before taxes and discounts, that is the total that you would need to look at for individual customers, and also it will give you a total for all customers. So that is a wonderful report to use. If you do have any questions about that, go ahead and send them over, and we'll save them for Q&A. And I'll go ahead and pull up the last report. So this is your trip log report, and again, this report does show you for a certain date range how all the trips that occurred. It will list out each trip, which vehicle was used, where you started, and where you ended. As you can see, you can filter by date, and you can also filter whether you want to see the start place or your destination. And you can search for certain destinations or start place, such as seminar, if you're just wanting to see all the miles that was used while you were at seminar. So I am going to run this report, and there you will be able to see all of our trips that we had since January 1st of 2017. It will show you the date, your trip, the vehicle that was used, how many miles were used individually, and give you the total miles, which is the information you would need for tax purposes. It will also show you if you have multiple stops with the trip, where you started and where you ended. Okay, and that is the trip log report. Perfect. So now that you have all the materials that you need to file, I am sure you are wondering, now what do I do? And that's where we can help you even further. Here with me I have Jerosol, who is the product manager for our sister company, Tax Bandits. Today she's going to give you some helpful information that can help you in your journey of easily filing your taxes. So I am going to go ahead and turn it over to her now. Just give us one moment.
Hello everyone. We here at Tax Bandits cater to small business owners by providing a cloud-based software solution that automates your tax filing needs from one single location. Our goal is to make IRS compliance as quick and comprehensive as possible through our interview-style e-filing service. We're actually hosting our very own webinar next Tuesday, December 12th at 2 p.m. There we will discuss small businesses and how to report vendor payments. Now, vendor payments can include, but are definitely not limited to, virtual assistants, office assistants, nannies, housekeepers, and many more. So I do hope that you join us next Tuesday to learn more about how to properly file vendor payments. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Okay, so that's the information there for the webinar for next Tuesday. So please join our sister product Tax Bandits and learn how you can easily file your taxes. Now, as you can see, with the right tools here at UnitWise, you are really equipped to really be successful and grow your business and to make sure you're prepared for every aspect of your business. So you do now know what it takes to be tax time ready and what to do next. Christina will add the link to register for Tax Bandits vendor payments and how to stay compliant webinar, which again is next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And she will also provide a link to Tax Bandits website, so make sure you check that out when you get a chance so you can go ahead and get started. Now, if you do have any questions for us, please go ahead and send them in. I will go ahead and start answering some questions that were submitted throughout the webinar, and we'll go ahead and open the floor for our Q&A session. Okay, I know we had a question from Annie. She wanted to know what is the difference between the snapshot of quantity on hand report and the inventory by category report. And that is a wonderful question. They're both in our year-end report, so I do want to take the time to do that. Thank you, Annie. So I'm back in my year-end tax reports, and she wanted to know what's the difference between our inventory by category report and our snapshot of quantity on hand. So I already showed you the snapshot report, so I am going to just run this report for you. And as you can see, you don't have to adjust anything. It does just spit out the information for you. Now, with this report, it's ideal to use more for your end of the year count. It will let you know basically the cost of goods that you have left on hand, where the snapshot of quantity was more of showing you how much products you have left on hand and how much they cost. This does give you a cost of goods total here, and you'll be able to see exactly how much it costs for you to obtain these items. Whereas the snapshot on quantity on hand shows you, based on the retail total, how much money you can gain if you sold, how much you have on hand. So this report is more for your purposes, so you can see how much you paid and how much you have left based on your inventory by category. So that is the major difference between the two reports. Have a question from Pam. Could you give more details on how trip logs works? Yes, we can. For time purposes, of course, I cannot go completely into details, but I do just want to go ahead and look at that really quickly. So to get to trip logs, you will go to accounts and then trip log, and here you will be able to see that these are all of our trips. Now to add a new trip, you will go over to the right and click add trip, and you will be able to put what the trip name was for, the date. Again, as we mentioned about starting January 1st, go ahead and take a picture of your odometer on January 1st so you can see exactly where you started. So putting your mileage in will be very easy for you if you start on January 1st. You can have multiple cars. You can add a vehicle really quickly. If you just got a brand new pink caddy, you could put your starting point and then your ending place. And then, of course, you can add multiple stops. So you will click it's multiple to add multiple stops. You can put a reason for the trip just for your own purposes, but make sure you have your total miles there. So that's just a little bit more information on where you would enter your trip login and how that report information is generated. Okay, any more questions? Okay, does look like those are all the questions for us. Now, as you can see, UnitWise does go beyond and above to make sure we are helping you succeed. So if you are not a part of the family, go ahead and don't waste any more time and register today. Now, since you are joining us right now, you will receive a 30-day free trial, and we will send that in our follow-up email. And if you are already a part of the family, please still use that promo code to give to others, because every 4 referrals that you have joined UnitWise, you will also get a month for free as well. If you do have any questions or feedback, please let us know. You can reach out to us via email at heroes@unitwise.com, or you can give us a call. We'll be glad to hear from you. But thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful day.